chapter will deal with no, very, very important information, and a chapter relating to the immunity from arrest in criminal matters to certain individuals. That is very important both in the CPC as well as in CRPC. Okay, because you learned yesterday one of the union minister, Mr. Rane, was arrested by the Maharashtra government. Whether he is entitled to immunity or not, we'll discuss it as a minister. And whether the judges, magistrates, can they be arrested? And what are the safeguards? And whether the constitutional dignitaries like President of India, Vice President of India, can they be arrested? What are the various articles and the provision granting? In the Code of Civil Procedure also, you know that the execution and arrest, there are certain provision which we'll discuss. I'm sure you must have been not dealt with it. Since the matter is become assuming alarming proportion of paramount importance, and also the diplomats, Indian diplomats, can they be arrested or not? Whether they have immunity or not. What is the Geneva Convention? That is a very important convention, isn't it? Diplomat, the Vienna Convention, I'm sorry. There's the Vienna Convention of 1972. Then we had one diplomat, the lady's name was Khorbagade. You know that? Khorbagade. Have you heard of this, her name? I had given you the material to you, how she was arrested. She has undergone strip search test, Khorbagade, Divyani Khorbagade, US diplomat, Indian diplomat to USA. Unfortunately, she was a strip search and she was arrested by the US police. Whether that is permissible or not, whether we have international convention, we will discuss. Now, first and foremost, the most important, under the Constitution of India, what are the immunities of arrest? Open Article 361 of the Constitution, Ashutosh. Article 361, खोल लीजिए जरा, बताता हूँ. I will start with this arrest provision, whether they can be arrested. The 361 खोल लीजिए. Part 19 of the Constitution of India. Miscellaneous में आएगा है. Of course, in the first year, when you dealt with this Constitution, you must have been read it, but I'm sure most of you must have forgotten. Right? Article 361 खोल लिया आपने? Can I just read this? Can you bring it on the screen? Article 361 of the Constitution.
Sir, I think Ashutosh must be having some connectivity issue.
अच्छा, ठीक है. Ashutosh must be having what? Problem?
Some connectivity issue.
Anybody?
Sharing in a minute, sir.
Yeah, please do that. Go ahead. I'll wait for it because they're very important. These are very important provision relating to arrest, not only in the CRPC, but CPC as well as the Constitution of India. And we'll also deal the law relating to diplomats under the Vienna Convention and the scope of Article 361 of the Constitution and Article 253 regarding how the Indian government is required to give effect to the international conventions. Okay.
Sir, can you please repeat the provisions of Constitution?
Article 361. Article 361. Mila? Protection.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it. Sharing it in a minute.
Yeah. Protection of the president and governors and Rashtra Pramukhs. Whether they can be arrested or not, you should know this. Remember this. शायद exam में question आएगा आपको, ये important question. It will come in both CPC and CRPC, and a general question will come. The president or the governor of a state shall not be answerable to any court, for exercise of the performance of the power and duties of the officers for any act done purported to be done in exercise of this so and so. Now, relevant, come back to relevant. Article 361 subclause 2. No criminal proceedings whatsoever shall be instituted or continued against the president or the governor of a state in any court during the term of his office. So this does not speak of any ministers. Please note that no union ministers. It does not speak of any ministers from the state legislative assemblies. Only the president of India and the governors are enjoying immunity from arrest from criminal prosecution pursuant to sub-article 2 of Article 361. Now, sub-article 3 check karo. No process for the arrest or imprisonment of the president or the governor of the state shall issue from any court during his term. So you cannot issue a warrant of arrest either under the CPC or CRPC. CPC के अंदर you know that warrant are dealing under section 81 and section 135, 130 मैं लेता हूँ आपको. Then criminal procedure code के अंदर section 90 onwards, isn't it? 85, 90, 95 onwards. Then subclause 4 speaks of no civil proceedings in which relief is claimed against the president or the governor or a state shall be instituted during his term office in respect of any act done purported to be done by him in his personal capacity, whether before or after he entered the office, the governor, such until expiration of 2 months next after notice in writing has been delivered to the president. So there is no bar from filing the civil case, provided you follow the requirement of section 80 of the Code of Civil Procedure. But there is an absolute blanket bar from filing a criminal case under Article 361 subclause 2. Please remember this. Subclause 4 bars to, yes, this is, you should remember generally. This is relating to President of India and the governor. It doesn't speak of any minister. Then I am coming to open the Code of Civil Procedure, please. Civil Procedure Code khal lijiye, section 133, 134, 135. Part 11 खोल लीजिए miscellaneous में, Code of Civil Procedure Code. See, exemption, article, section 132 speaks of exemption of women, we are not concerned. Exemption of other person, section 133, the following person shall be entitled to exemption from personal appearance in the court: President of India, Vice President, Speaker of the House, Ministers of the Union, Judges of the Supreme Court, Governors of the State, Administrator, then Speaker of the Legislative Assembly, Chairman of the Assembly, and Ministries of the State, Judges of the High Court, and person from under section 87, 87B of the Code of Civil Procedure. That is, when you open section 87B CPC, you will come to know that is the rulers of the former Indian princely states. They cannot be told to appear before the court. Exemption. Like under the CRPC, you make application for exemption under section 205. Yaad karo aap. Every accused person or complainant must remain present in the court of law for answering to a criminal charge. That is section 205 CRPC. थोड़ा देख लीजिए. You are required to make application for exemption. CRPC खोल लीजिए, section 205. Magistrate may dispense with the personal attendance of the accused, where the summons are so and so. 205 के अंदर dispensation है everybody. But under the Code of Civil Procedure, section 135 tells you that this various category of 11 persons need not appear before the court. Then see, as regard the arrest, section 134. Arrest other than in execution of a decree. The provisions of section 55, 57, 59 shall apply as all persons arrested under this code. Now here, in execution of arrest means, suppose if you have filed a suit against the President of India in some capacity other claiming damages, so you cannot ask him to compel him to appear before the court of law. Suit can be filed by you by giving section 80 notice, 2 months notice. And you cannot, but the execution of a decree, you can arrest him in the sense, यहाँ पे बताता हूँ आपको मैं ये, arrest is permissible other than decree के अंदर. Now see, 135, exemption from arrest under civil process. No judge, underline this word, no judge, magistrate or other judicial officer shall be liable to be arrested under the civil procedure while going to presiding returning from his court. That means arrest can be done, but you cannot arrest him when he is going to his court for presiding, and while he is coming back from his court to his residence, he cannot be arrested. Otherwise, normally he can be arrested. Then I will tell you what provisions safeguard. Number 2, where any matter is pending before a tribunal having jurisdiction of the court, believing in good faith he has jurisdiction, the parties, the pleaders, and muhtars, revenue agents, recognized agent, and the witnesses acting in obedience to summons shall be exempted from arrest under the civil procedure other than issued by the tribunal for contempt of court while attending to the court. So the only bar is that when in a contempt of court proceeding, they cannot be, they can be arrested. Otherwise, under section 135, this is the provision here. Please bear in mind, in the code of civil procedure, but in the execution of a decree, till the decree is passed, you can't be arrested. Another notable section is a section 81, check karo aap, CPC ke andar. 81, section 81. Exemption from arrest and personal appearance. In a suit instituted against a public officer, see, underline the word public officer, in respect of any act purported to be done by him, capacity, defendant shall not be liable to arrest or his capacity. Suppose you may filed a suit against a police officer, a commissioner of police, for wrongfully arresting you. So you have a right to claim damages for wrongful arrest following Pidru Shah's judgment in Supreme Court. So once a decree is passed in your favor, of course, you cannot go for attachment before judgment. You learned in CPC, there is a provision for attachment before judgment under Order 38, Rule 5 CPC. Padhe na aapne? Under Order 38, Rule 5, the plaintiff can make an application for attachment. But in the case against a public servant, when a suit is filed by you, I gave you an example against the police commissioner or the police officer, or a police officer wrongly arresting you, or in a malicious prosecution where you have been wrongly faulted, where arrest has taken place without issuing notice under section 41A of the CRPC, or arrest has taken place without following the guidelines of the Supreme Court in Dalita Kumari versus State of UP. So an aggrieved person can file a petition or a suit, a civil suit claiming damages. Now, while the damages suit is heard, you cannot arrest anybody. But in execution of a decree, attachment, under attachment, when you see, and during execution, arrest is one of the ground under the CPC. Now, which section for arrest? Any one of you know that? Can any one of you show that? That is section 51, Chakro, CPC. Arrest is one of the ground. 51C, power of the court to enforce execution by arrest and detention in person not exceeding specified period under section 58. Under section 58, the maximum period is 3 months' time. He can be put in jail. Further arrest provision is section 55 of the Code of Civil Procedure. Please note that. These are the provisions relating to arrest and who can be arrested. Now, under section 81, as I told you, a public servant cannot be arrested. Like you have sued the police officer for wrongfully arresting you for a malicious prosecution against you. You may sue him for damages, but you cannot seek an order of arrest against him. But when a decree is passed in your favor. For claiming damages, you have attached his house or you have appointed a receiver, and in execution proceeding with a view to recover property, he is not obeying the decree, you can make an application for arrest under Order 21, Rule 22 CPC. Read with Section 51 of the CPC, arrest marks and things like that. Then 52 says, exemption from appearance. See, the defendant shall not be liable to arrest nor his property. 81 के अंदर. 82 execution of a decree he may be arrested. So these are the provisions relating to arrest in CPC. So earlier I pointed out to you the Constitution of India, Article 361. Remember this: President of India, Vice President cannot be arrested, cannot be sued in criminal court. Then CPC के अंदर Section 133 to 135, they tell you that the President of India cannot be arrested. They cannot be summoned to the court of law. Please note that here. Then now the arrest of under the CRPC, you learned one provision which we had at Section 197. 197 के अंदर a magistrate can be arrested, a public servant can be arrested with the sanction of the authorities. Isn't it? Section 197 खोल लीजिए आप. Now, prosecution of judges and public servant. क्या बोले? Prosecution of judges and public servant. When any person who is a judge, magistrate or a servant shall not removable from this office by sanction of the government is accused of any offence alleged to have been committed by him while acting purported to have been in charge of a court shall take cognizance of the except with the previous sanction of the Lokpal and Lokayukta. With the permission of the Lokayukta, he can be arrested. Now, this is not an arrest. This is filing of a case. Case cannot be filed. Now, whether can you arrest a judicial officer? That particular matter came up for consideration in a very, very unfortunate case of a judicial magistrate from Gujarat who was handcuffed and paraded openly and made to consume liquor by a police officer who wanted to teach a lesson to him. Because he was a very strict judicial officer, he was taking action against the police for not properly sending summons, not executing warrant, and he was passing strictures in the state of Gujarat. Now the police administration was quite fed up of him. This gentleman, this magistrate, Mr. Patel, his name is, and he has been very strict and he is humiliating the police officer. So one fine day, the police officer decided to teach him a lesson. How it doesn't? He goes to the court and the chamber of the magistrate and talks to him with a honey dripping sweetness. Your Honor, we would like to invite you to our police station and see how the administration is, why they are not working. It's not that I am not taking action. You yourself come. We want to. I am inviting you as a chief guest as a guest to come and see the police station. So the poor magistrate fell in his trap. Normally, a judicial magistrate is not supposed to visit a police station unless in connection with the work of the court, unless some inquiry is to be instituted as per the order passed by him or a high court or the Supreme Court, anybody else. And he goes, and the gentleman inspector, whose name is Mr. Sharma, and abuses him, humiliate him. Entire police was against him. They made him consume liquor and they handcuff him. They are parading him in the streets of Gujarat, and people are looking at him. That was a big mockery of the rule of law, and in which the objection was taken. It came in the newspaper, highlighted all throughout India, all throughout the world, that the judicial magistrate has been handcuffed and paraded. So the defense of the gentleman police officer was, in that case, the magistrate came on his own, he consumed liquor and he created tamasha, he was abusing everybody, so I did this. we had done handcuffing, parading. That was the justification, which the Supreme Court did not like it. And in fact, the Supreme Court appointed one Allahabad High Court judge, Justice Sahai, R.M. Sahai, who was one of the later on became a Bombay High Court judge, to institute an inquiry. He submitted the inquiry report, holding the administration of police department of Gujarat, the responsible in the matter. And Supreme Court laid down certain guidelines, which guidelines I would like to say, new judgment. You go home and read it. I will only read the guidelines. I will read relevant one or two paragraphs. Just will see. When you open AIR 1991 Supreme Court, page number 2176, a judgment given by Justice K.N. Singh, Kuldeep Singh, and Justice Kasliwal. If you read the first paragraph, you will come to know the sordid state of it. See, written by Justice K.N. Singh, the senior judge. I will read the first paragraph and take you to the guidelines. Read the judgment of Justice K.N. Singh. On 25th of September 1989, a horrendous incident took place in the town of Nadiad, district Kheda, in the state of Gujarat, which exhibited a berserk behavior of a police, undermining the dignity and independence of judiciary. S.R. Sharma, inspector of a police with 25 years of experience, posted at the police station Nadiad, arrested, assaulted, and handcuffed N.L. Patel, Chief Judicial Magistrate, Nadiad, and tied him with a thick rope like an animal, and made a public exhibition of sending him in the same condition to the hospital for medical examination on the alleged charge of having consumed liquor in breach of the prohibition laws enforced in the state of Gujarat. The Inspector Sharma got the Chief Judicial Magistrate photographed in handcuff with rope tied around his body, along with the constable, which was published in the newspaper all over the country. This led to tremors, bench and the bar throughout the whole country. So the first paragraph you read, it has a chilling, experience in your mind. You will shiver. It's a it's a mind-blowing, chilling experience, shocking and horrendous experience that the police officer can stoop to that level. Then paragraph number 6, the Supreme Court appoints Justice R.M. Sahai, Allahabad High Court judge, to inquire into the matter. See, inquiry was held. I am not in the inquiry. Inquiry they were held guilty. I won't read the entire judgment. And the Supreme Court convicted him and laid down the guidelines when the judicial officers arrested. What intimation? What is the procedure? Please read the paragraph number 56. आ जाइए 56 पे आ जाइए. 53 के अंदर 52 and 53 में he has been sentenced to 6 months jail under the Contempt of Court Act. Other officers that I am not reading it, they have been taken into custody, undergo. Now the guidelines are important when they're at 56 पे आ जाइए. The facts of the instance case demonstrate that presiding officers of the court may be arrested and humiliated on flimsy and manufactured charges which could affect the administration of justice. In order to avoid any such situation in future, we consider it necessary to lay down guidelines which should be followed in the case of arrest and detention of a judicial officer. No person whatsoever his rank or designation may be above the law, and he must face the penal consequences of infraction of criminal law. The magistrate, judge, or any judicial officer is liable to criminal prosecution for an offence like any other citizen, but in view of the paramount necessity of preservation, independence of the judiciary, and the same time ensuring infraction of the law properly, investigation. We think the following guidelines should be followed. Number one, if the judicial officer is to be arrested for some offense, it should be done under intimation to district judge or a high court, as the case may be. So, learn under 197 CRPC, there is no bar to file a case against judges. But sanction to be taken, that can be taken at the time of the framing of a charge. But when arrest is sought to be effected, intimation should be given to the high court or a district court, because they are the head. In a local area, you are arresting in Kalyan Thane and district judge. You are arresting in the city of Bombay, any magistrate. Before arresting, you must inform the Honorable Chief Justice in the Bombay High Court. Delhi, you are arresting, the Delhi Chief Justice should be arrested. B, if facts and circumstances necessitate the immediate arrest of a judicial officer, subordinate judiciary, technical form, arrest may be effected. Judicial officers of subordinate judiciary, maybe judicial officer first class, Munsif Court, civil judge junior division, civil judge senior. These are all subordinate officers, can be done from reason. Now, uske baad bhi, the fact that such arrest should be immediately communicated to district judge, session judge of the district area, chief justice of the court. So, the moment you are arresting, intimation should be given to the session judge or a district judge in the locality. Because in every taluka, local area, there is a district judge. Intimation. D mein aa jaiye. The judicial officers who are arrested shall not be taken to police station without the prior order direction of the district session judge or concerned district of the available. So, no sooner a police officer arresting the accused person under section 41 of the CRPC, what he does? He takes him to police station. Interrogation शुरू होता है. Under the guise of interrogation, beating शुरू हो जाता है. मारम मारी शुरू हो जाती है. It is evident. The atrocities of police are very well known. So, with a view to avoid this unpleasant situation, the law says that the guidelines here, when a magistrate or a judge is sought to be arrested, even a junior judge, and immediately you should not take him to police station, you must give intimation to the session judge. Because the moment you take it your custody and the police station, probably you will hammer him. And that is why fortunately Supreme Court has now said it here, in every police station there must be CCTV cameras. That is one of the guidelines, you may see that here. Item number E check karo. Immediate facilities should be provided to judicial officers for communication with family members, legal advisors, judicial officer, including district judges. Now, in the case of Gujarat magistrate, he was denied the opportunity. He told the police officer, he told even the doctors in the hospital, please connect me to the district judge. I would like to speak to the Honorable Session Judge, District Judge. Unfortunately, he was not. Even the entire state machinery was supporting the police officer. They had some kind of vengeance and khunnas against the judicial officer who was supposed to be an upright officer. So many people don't like upright officers. Next year, F में, no statement of judicial officer. देखो ये intimation देना पड़ेगा. This is also mandatory under the provisions of Article 22. Leave aside a judicial officer. You have to give the grounds of arrest. Inform your family members. That is the mandate of section 55, 56, 57 CRPC, read with Article 22. Now the special provision here, don't take into police station. F, no statement of judicial officer who is under arrest be recorded, nor any panchanama be drawn, or any medical test be conducted except in the presence of the legal advisor of the judicial officer concerned for another officer equal to the higher rank. Because the police officer is capable of fabricating, fudging the report. They have their own panchas, trained panchas on the police station. They will write anything prejudicial to the accused person's prejudicial officer. Same thing the gentleman Sharma has written against him. And he has own witnesses, he consumed him liquor, and he himself has made the panchanama He himself has paraded him and not given the opportunity to engage a lawyer, no intimation given to the session judge, no intimation to the district judge. So it was a horrendous crime committed here in the matter here. That is why the safeguard says that here you cannot even record statement. 161 statement cannot be recorded. Here, nor you can bring any panchanamas under section 100 CRPC for taking custody of any article. Wait till the judicial officer's advocate come. First, you give intimation to the judicial officer's family member and the lawyer and to the district judge. The district judge will depute somebody else, or he will come personally, or he will bring a lawyer to make representation, so that the entire procedure is transparent in the matter here. F. G. Check karo. There should be no handcuffing of a judicial officer. Now it is a fashion on the part of, even in the case of Ravi Shankar's case, you know that the handcuffing was abolished by the Supreme Court in many of the cases, but they don't follow that judgment of the Supreme Court. Handcuffing is specifically prohibited if, however, violent resistance arrest is offered, eminent need of the physical resistance averted, the person insisting he may be overpowered and handcuffed. Only if the judicial officer is trying to attack the police officer, offering obstruction, resistance, in that event you can do that here. Then it should be made to the empowered handcuff. In such a case, immediate report shall be made to the district session judge concerned and to the Chief Justice of the High Court. But the burden would be on the police to establish necessary effective physical arrest, handcuffing, so and so. So you can do that, but intimation must be given to the higher ups, the High Court judges, the session judges, the district judges. If the High Court is far off, you inform the session judge. If there is no session judge, there is a district judge. And many of them are there. 57 check kare. The above, there are 7 guidelines. The above guidelines are not exhaustive, but these minimum safeguards, so and so guideline. Then at the same time, in paragraph number 58 says, we do not approve NL Patel, that is the magistrate, conduct in visiting the police station on the invitation of a police inspector. In our opinion, no judicial officer should visit a police station on his own except in a connection with the official and judicial duties and function. It's necessary for the judicial officers, subordinate officers in the connection, so and so, do this prior intimation, visit to the district. So you can only visit, suppose you are holding an inquiry to see the condition of inmates in jail. An inquiry is instituted by you under the provisions of section 176 CRPC, when you want to find out the cause of death, when the police is not investigating. That you are visiting a police station to find out, intimation must be given by the magistrate concerned to the district and session judge who are superior to them under the hierarchy. Okay, pursuant to this court's appeal, so and so, not relevant. Okay, this is the sum and substance where the Supreme Court has laid down guidelines. They are still, because unfortunately CRPC has not so far been amended to incorporate this guideline. It should have been amended. The bill is lying in a cold storage in the parliament. This is very unfortunate because in the year 1973, the CRPC, but fortunately the CPC contains better provisions. The CPC clearly tells you that arrest should not be affected of various persons in execution. So this is more exhaustive. Then of the other superior court judges provision, I'll point out some of the legislation in that regard. There is one Judicial Officers Proceedings Act 1850, old act check karo aap. Then Judges Procedure Act of 1985, India ke andar hai. Then we also have then we have Judges Inquiry Act of 1968. So these are all acts here which lay down the guideline more or less akin to the same thing. The judges cannot be arrested, and because they are responsible officers, because sometimes police officer khunnas mein aake kuch bhi kar degi, and you cannot do that. So, unfortunately, then in the IPC, there are certain provisions which I would like to point out to you. Please open section 70, 71, na? Yeah, 71 खोलो जरा आप of the Indian Penal Code खोल लीजिए आप IPC. Yeah, section 77 खोल लीजिए. Sorry, section 77. Act of a judge when acting judicially. Nothing is an offense which is done by a judge when acting judicially in the exercise of any power which is of which in good faith he believes him to be law. So there's a protection granted to judges here under section 77. Then you may also kindly see section 228 of the Indian Penal Code. खोल लीजिए जरा. How you are supposed to respect judges here? Intentional insult, interruption to public servant sitting in judicial proceeding. Whoever intentionally offers any insult or causes any interruption to public servant while such public servant is sitting in any stage or judicial proceeding shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months. So this is another protection accorded to judges here. Then open section 345 CRPC. 345 खोल लीजिए CRPC. Procedure in cases of a contempt. How the court take cognizance of a contemptor is mentioned here, because when I deal with you the topic for offences affecting the administration of justice, starting from 340 onwards, एक topic लूंगा उसके अंदर. Remember this point. Then coming to the even the ministers, I told you, Mr. Rane, the union minister, was arrested yesterday. Normally, some of the rules of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha normally say that here intimation should be given to the speaker of the arrest of the minister. But unfortunately, those rules are not implemented so far by the Indian Parliament for some reason. So there is no blanket immunity granted to the ministers in the matter. The blanket immunity at the moment is granted to only the President of India and the governors. You will be knowing that in the horse trading cases, even Narasimha Rao was prosecuted. Prime Minister, I have given you the case. Isn't it? There is no blanket immunity for proceeding against him also in the matter. So Mr. Rane, the union minister, was rightly granted bail by the magistrate in Mahad under the ground that here notice under section 41A was not given to him, because the offence is punishable for less than 7 years. Under the scheme of the CRPC, any offence which is punishable for less than 7 years, in Dalita Kumaris versus State of UP, the Supreme Court has given guidelines. 41A notice in CRPC is mandatory when the punishment is less than 7 years. So the offences of defamation under 500 which is given is punishable for 2 years. So this is all political action. We do not want to comment upon it. This government, their government, this happens when when a particular party is not in government, they create commotion, and the a party which is ruling, they like to take action. So let us not comment upon this action. So these the to cut the long story short, there is no immunity from arrest of union ministers as on today under the Indian constitution nor under the CRPC. Please note that here. Huh? But as regard the diplomats are concerned, foreign diplomats, I have given you one, please forward it to you, the Vienna Convention Act of 1972. Because the India is a signatory to many international agreements and conventions. That is a United Nations Conference on Diplomatic Intercourse and Immunities Act. So many of them. When you open that and see, I won't be wasting your time reading that here. So that is a Vienna Convention 1972 के अंदर Article 38 is granting convention. Unfortunately, Devyani Khorbagade, who was our India's diplomat in USA, for some reason she had not paid the wages to her servant, whatever reason may be, and she was very badly treated. She was she was asked to go various searches. There's an article which I sent you, shared to you. Please go through that. Please note that. So diplomats do have it. The diplomatic immunity. You cannot arrest somebody, a US diplomat ambassador in India. That is we are following a international convention. You want to, because India is obligated to respect the international convention pursuant to Article 253 of the Constitution. जरा ओपन करो 253 का नाम है, तो देख लेंगे, बताया तो आपको. You should know the schemes. Article 253 खोलिए आशुतोष. Article 253, why India should respect the international convention. All countries must, in fact, our India has passed a specific law in that regard. When you see that here, Article 253 खोल लीजिए, बताता हूं आपको मैं. See, legislation for giving effect to international agreement. Notwithstanding anything contained in the foregoing provision of this chapter, Parliament has power to make law for the whole or any part of the territory of India for the implementing treaties, agreement, convention, which any other country or countries or any decision made, or any international convention, association, or any body. So it is mandatory. It is mandatory to give effect to, when there are no law is made, India is obligated to respect the international convention. That is why we are members of the UN. Isn't it? League of Nations treaty के अंदर international convention. So under this, there is a Vienna Convention of 1972, which I have shared with you. If you open Vienna Convention, आप देख लीजिए जरा. I have shared with you in the group. Please open this. See, the diplomatic relationship, Vienna Convention 1972, Act of 1972. Then where the application, number 2, application certain restriction, privileges and immunities, Article 4, isn't it? Privileges and immunities in India is Article 7, which are dealt under Article 38 of the convention, which I am not reading. You please go home and read it. These is the legal, broadly, the spectrum of immunities and protection granted to various persons under our Constitution of India, under the provisions of Code of Civil Procedure, under the provisions of under the judgment of the Supreme Court. We read it right now in Delhi administration's case, which is very important. Unfortunately, this judgment is binding because under Article 141 of the Constitution of India, the judgment of the Supreme Court of India is binding, which is law. So long as law is not implemented, it says that here, for your information, I am reading Article 141, which should be by heart to you. Article 141 and 142 are very important. आप देख लीजिए. Law declared by the Supreme Court of India to be binding on all courts. The law declared is binding courts in India. Enforcement is important. And section 142, Article 142, enforcement of decree order passed The Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, in exercise of jurisdiction, may pass any decree, make such order necessary for doing complete justice in any cause or matter pending before it, or any decree passed so much shall be enforceable throughout the territory of India in such a manner as may be prescribed or any under any law for the time being made by Parliament until provisions in that behalf is made in such manner as President may order and prescribe. So long as Article 253 is not implemented, huh? Article 141, 142 say that till the President of India, till the Parliament makes the law, and opinion expressed by Supreme Court judgment is binding on everybody, the entire system. So the judgment of the Supreme Court given in Nadiad magistrate's case and the guidelines given are binding, enforceable, and the police officer cannot arrest a judicial officer in that regard. So for more information in that regard, please read the Judicial Officers Proceeding Act of 1850. They are there in the, when you open your जनरल देखो जनरल सिविल एक्ट खोलेंगे आप मिलेंगे आपको बेर एक्ट के अंदर 3 एक्ट्स जुडिशियल ऑफिसर एक्ट ऑफ 1850 पढ़िए आप जजेस प्रोसीजर एक्ट ऑफ 1985 पढ़ लिया आप देन जुडिशियल इंक्वायरी एक्ट ऑफ 1968 these are 3 provisions they are dealing with all Supreme Court, High Court, lower court judicial. The guidelines are laid down here, which are very, very important. Anybody wants to ask me any question, please ask. I think we have consumed almost 1 hour here, isn't it? This is a very interesting topic. All of you should know that here. Arrest cannot be effected in civil cases. See that here? Read the section 134, 135 CPC. Remember, your CPC professor will teach you this. And bear in mind, before that I had told you the provision. You must bear in mind. कुछ पूछना है कुछ सवाल. And somebody had asked me yesterday also about the right to keep silence. The 5th Amendment of the American US Constitution. That is called your Miranda rights. The Miranda rights are incorporated in our Constitution under Article 20 subclause 3. एक बार देख लीजिए आप. Miranda right, those I have sent you the Miranda versus Arzoina का judgment देखो. Supreme Court का, please go through that. It's a 1967 judgment US court का है. वो देख लीजिए under Article 20 subclause 3 see. Protection in respect of conviction of the offences. देखिए, no person accused of any offence shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. So this is right to keep silence. समझे ना आप? You cannot incriminate yourself. Nandini Satpathe is the leading case. आप देख लीजिए, आप underline कीजिए. Nandini Satpathe versus Union of India. During Indira Gandhi's time, that lady was harassed and prosecution was filed against Nandini Satpathe for not towing line with Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister. So the Supreme Court said here, she has a right to keep silent. The police officer were trying to ask her incriminating question. She and a lawyer took up the plea. I have a protection under Article 2. I have a right to keep silence. I will not incriminate myself. Article 20 subclause 3. This is the Miranda rights which are incorporated because our Indian Constitution has been drafted. All of you must be knowing that. Having seen the various constitutions of the world, the framework of the Constitution had done a very brilliant work. All the best principles of the world, US Constitution, UK, Canadian Constitution, Australian Constitution, New Zealand Constitution have been adopted. It is a marvelous piece of legislation. According to me, India's Constitution is the best Constitution and no other Constitution can. In fact, South Africa has followed our example. The Miranda rights of protection under Article 23, South Africa has followed it here. South African Constitution has been drafted by none other than by our Chief Justice Bhagwati. So it is a compliment to Indian judiciary in that regard. So that is the Miranda rights. You can see the judgment of the Supreme Court in the 5th Amendment case. That is the Miranda versus Arzoina. I have given to you. देख लीजिए. कुछ पूछना है और आपको अभी इसी वक्त? Sama, I am sure all of you have understood the lecture. कुमार पसंद लेक्चर समझ में आया आप लोग को? Anybody has any question, please ask me. Huh? Yesterday, relating to the minister, Rane साहब arrest हो गए, बाद में release भी हो गए. Now he has filed a petition in the High Court for quashing. Today the High Court said that here the other side has been kind enough to say that we will not take any coercive action. So matter is pending. So the ball is in the High Court's bench now. So far as the lower court has granted the bail and the proceedings are now under 482, they have come for quashing. And the provisions of section 153A and B for promoting disparity and peace, tranquility, वो अलग बात है, and defamation के लिए. So that is all contentious issues before the court. So since we were dealing with the immunity to be granted from arrest, so we have covered the entire spectrum of the cases and the legal position. Anybody has any question, I am available here. I think after this question session, we can wind it up. Then day after tomorrow, we can meet up. So I will be taking lectures Monday, Wednesday, Friday, only one lecture. Please note that there will be no break. I will not be discontinuing a lecture unless some emergency comes. From my side, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, one lecture, 7 to 8. किसी क्या कुछ पूछना है तुमको, कुशाल जी, दिया, अरूरा, कुमार, आशुतोष, मेघा, किसी को नहीं पूछना है? Hopefully, I have made myself clear in this lecture. समझ में आया आप लोग को लेक्चर ये? हाँ या ना बोलिए?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm
Yes,
glad.
sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
you had asked me a question, one of you, about the Miranda rights of USA Fifth Amendment. समझ में आया उनको? Who was the student, lady student had asked this question? Is she there today? नहीं.
I think sir Supriya asked yesterday in last lecture.
She is available here today? प्रिया को पूछो,
I
समझ में
just
आया?
check sir.
चेक करो.
I think she hasn't joined today, but
Okay, no problem. Ask her to see this lecture today and ask her to give her comments if she has any question, any students, and we'll meet up now. Ask her Wednesday, Friday को मिलेंगे. Okay? If you have no problem, I'll wind up. Okay? Is it okay?
Yes sir, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay, good night. See you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.